Wait, what is that? What's that part? What's the last part you just said? I just want to hear that again.
Under the guise of fighting Nazis.
Who did this?
The Canadian Parliament froze Canadian citizens' bank accounts so they couldn't pull their money out.
Man, this sand. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on? Why do you do this to your friend, Dylan?
Now,
he's your friend. And you allow him to do this publicly in front of a camera.
Yaroslav
You allow
Punk?
him to say him to get so ridiculously stupid.
When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken and snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, a.k.a. Deep Waters.
I don't know.
Welcome to Conspiracy Social Club, a.k.a. Deep Waters, a.k.a. Highway to the Danger Zone. It's Skankfest weekend, guys.
That's crazy range that I just gave you.
You really did.
And are you going to be at Skankfest?
Yes.
You are?
I won't be there till Saturday.
Okay, I can't wait. I'll be there too.
You're going to love it.
I'm excited. It's
going to be fun.
We're going to do a live Fighter and the Kid with the boys from Skankfest.
I love it.
Friday.
I love it.
I have to go to New York and do a quick corporate gig because it's how I roll. Greensboro, North Carolina. I've known if you've ever been there, the Comedy Zone. I'll be there. So America, if you're anywhere near North Carolina, you come see Daddy, not Cash Daddy, because that's your podcast. Your other one of 25. And
no,
Sam,
here we go. Anyway, Sam Tripoli. Go to samtripoli.com. A lot of great, I'm adding events all the time. Just added Thousand Oaks to an already busy schedule. Couple Cash Daddies. Daddy's feeling good. Daddy wants to shoot a special or literally drop this hour and just never talk about it again.
There you go. Shoot a special or drop an hour. I like that.
No, being like never talk about it again and just take that whole hour. Because is it too edgy? I have the Lord in my life right now. I've been reading a lot, getting into the Bible, loving that.
Me too.
Bang. And just wondering if Daddy is a little, just a little too much for the people. And that's where we're at.
Well, I'm literally obsessing over my 1 hour, and I'm obsessing.
You have a great 1 hour.
Well, no, I'm really want to make this. I want this to surprise me, and I want to talk about something larger than me in this. Right? I want to talk about sort of. Look, hey, can I make a social commentary? We're not even as deep as a puddle.
Can we vote on it first?
Culturally, it's all about us. And that's a problem. We don't reach beyond ourselves. It's where everybody is forced to be a narcissist. Everybody is forced.
That is
we're all forced
going viral.
To only think about how we can be more productive because it's the only way to survive. I had this joke. I'm like, is this capitalism or a hamster wheel? Because I'm just trying to catch my breath.
Yep.
And if you are not completely obsessed, so if you're not, here's the thing, if you're not doing cold plunges and saunas and supplements, by the time you're 80, you're going to starve to death because you have to be productive at 80.
Yeah.
I don't see retirement.
Right.
Anybody have trouble saving money or is it just me?
I think about that all the time.
Right? And so you're almost forced into. Then the other thing is, we live in a society. Freedom comes with a price because
freedom ain't free, brother.
You have the potential to be a billionaire. You can do it, buddy. A billionaire. It's all up to you. That's a big responsibility,
right?
Because you got to conquer your inner bitch and all that.
Yes,
man, it's exhausting.
But Bryan, here's also something I thought about that this conversation, in particular men, have had with themselves for a very long time. And most of the time, in their flight of their life, in their journey, they land the plane. The plane lands.
Yeah.
And it's just like our fathers have gone through this. our grandfathers have thought this. It just. I'm sure my father thought about that. He's fine. He's living with a hot black chick in Prescott, Arizona. So,
but the
he's
only
doing
difference,
great.
the only difference is men today have a segment of the female population that doesn't just hate them, but is at war with them.
Yeah,
and let me just tell you what I think about that. Like, I think that third and fourth wave feminism that sort of cast the fight for freedom as a war against men, because men are trying to kill you, not just to oppress you. I think what happens is if you add to the fact that, okay, you as a woman are a man, you can do anything a man can do. There's no difference. Okay, deal with that. And oh, by the way, you can also be, you can be empowered by being a porn star. You can be empowered by being on OnlyFans. You can be empowered by being on a dating app and swiping no to every man there is. And it creates this power dynamic. And then you add social media where you can just tell a story about a man anonymously and destroy even the most powerful man completely.
You know what's very interesting is it's like the power of youth and the cold of the wall of adulthood, right? Like it gets really cold. Like a great boxer, just one day it's gone. And no matter how much they train.
Oh shit. You're right. Let's get into some stuff. Sorry.
I was about to do some deep shit right there, dude. Okay. All right. So what would the slave master who want us to talk about?
Let's get into some events, man.
What was the deep shit you were going to say?
Well, the problem with the youth is that they don't listen to the wisdom of the generations before them. And they always think they can rewrite the inevitable and what is coming. And it's not true. And then they get really upset. It's like this thing with the Hassan Minaj. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of that?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you that comics make up stories all the time. So
I do all the time.
So the notion that a comic made up a story isn't that crazy to me. We have friends of ours who sell arenas out making up stories because people enjoy those stories. You know, what I think Hassan represents is rich kids trying to find clout, oppression clout.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And
you're colonizing oppression.
Constantly being told that this country is racist and bigoted and everything like that.
And he jumped on that bandwagon.
To the point that these have to make up stories to kind of get into that. And it's like...
My issue with Hassan Minaj is this.
By the way, I met him one time 15 years ago. Nice guy you'll ever meet. It seemed like the nicest dude.
I don't like criticizing comics. I don't know much about him. I don't know him. I've not seen his stand-up. I will say this. I don't even care about the daughter's anthrax scare. I don't care about that. That's a crazy joke.
Yeah.
He said, let me use my baby. I got no problem with that. I really don't. My problem is that he doxed or mentioned a girl who he said didn't want to go to prom with him because he was brown. So what she did is she cast a white chick. He cast a white chick as racist, and he got social capital for that. So he jumped on that bandwagon.
No, you're right.
And
so he wants credit for oppression he didn't really go for.
Yeah, but if he had come up with, but I wouldn't have had a problem if he'd come up with an imaginary woman. And even though that's not true, it has happened to other brown people he knows or like him.
Well, we can get into that as well. Like I know a guy at the Comedy Store that would guilt white chicks because if they weren't into him, he'd say it's because he's black and that's racist. And I'm like, well, women do that to short guys all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're either attracted to somebody or not. I mean,
but I don't mind him using a metaphor for racism. Like there's no way.
But who's the most racist human being on the planet, Brian? White chicks who only bang black guys, right? Those are the most racist people on the planet,
leave my wife out of this. But,
okay.
But the thing is this. Like I think at the end of the day, like I just have a problem with the fact that he named this person and they dealt with death threats. He owes her an apology. That was a lie. Just own up to it.
But this also goes. This is a symptom of the progressive left.
Yes.
That again, Hassan's a nice guy, I have no problem with making up stories. But when you're looking for clout of oppression that you didn't go through, that's where I have a problem. Like,
he might have been looking for a liberal audience, right? Is that what he was trying to do?
Right. But I mean, let's face it. Is this any different than what my good friend Steve Renazizi did? I mean, you're literally making up a story for clout. And it's like, I get why Steve did that. Not saying it's right, but when you're in Hollywood and you're looking for any way to kind of get a nit.
Can I say something, Sam?
Yeah.
I've never done that, and you haven't either.
Yeah, but I'm also, again, I don't forgive it. I understand why he did it. Because it's like at the time, everybody was super patriotic. Not saying it's right. And Steve Renazizi paid a price. And he's such a good guy. Like Steve Renazizi made a mistake.
Yes, he did.
And he's paid for it for a while.
He went on Howard Stern.
And
he's paid a real price for it. I forgive Steve.
Dude, literally one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Cool.
Okay? So... But no different than that. No different than just Smolier. No different. And I hate to say it, no different than Amber Heard or a lot of these Me Too things. Making up stories of oppression when you play to this notion that we live in a completely bigoted world and that this country is so bad. That to me is the only part that to me is dangerous. Now, I support Hassan in that you're allowed to make up stories. You're not allowed, in my humble. Well, you can do whatever you want to, but again, it's like you're adding to the divide and conquer, and that's my opinion.
Yeah, he is. But I also think I just don't like that he docks that.
Yeah, I get that too. That sucks.
You got to apologize to her.
Well,
I hope he did.
Speaking of manufacturing bigotry, let's talk about Bryan's favorite author.
Oh, Bryan, you got to be loving this. I mean, this dude is just getting his oppressed dick kicked in everywhere.
I've read his book, and it's a terrible book, and he is an intellectual lightweight who sees racism everywhere because it's a fetish for him, and he's just never exposed himself ever to anybody else's idea, and he refuses to debate anybody. But he makes a fortune.
Well,
he makes a fortune with corporations telling him how to be less racist. That guy's the biggest grifter on the planet. Bring him up again.
Yeah. But what's funny, Bryan, is like he's like this grift. Like Spotify realized that they made some big mistakes because they gave these huge deals to these people, and none of them did anything.
I know.
It's like that's the sign of a grift. Like this guy's done nothing. He got paid all this money to produce all this stuff, and he produced none of it.
The BU Center for Anti-Racist Research. Wow. Okay.
So I think they got $43 million.
Listen, he's very wealthy. Good for him.
Funding and grants.
But he's not. That's what everyone's talking about. He's having real financial problems right now.
He is, or they are.
He is, because he's basically.
He had stage 4 colon cancer. He went through a real health scare, and so did his wife. I think his wife was very sick.
Oh,
too.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I read his book in earnest, and I really took my time with it, and I read I listened to commentary on the book and stuff. I gave him a real shake. The way I've read the anti-racist, the critical race theorists who have something to say. Actually, there's some good scholarship in it.
Yeah.
But that anti-racist stuff, wow. That is just weak scholarship. And it's very telling that Ibram Kendi won't even debate anyone. He won't debate or go on podcasts with anybody who wants a pushback or at least question him. He won't do it. Because
Have you ever seen him? So Mark Dice played a funny clip. He's getting interviewed live on stage by this race baiter who used to work at ESPN, and the crowd, the whitest white guy, asked him to define what racism is, and he gives this answer that everybody in the room just goes collectively, "Are you serious? Is that what you just said?"
Yeah, I can tell you what his answer is.
It's like racist systems and racism that perpetrate racism.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, what?
That's why Ibram Kendi says you can be black and be a white supremacist and a racist. Because if you benefit from the system in place.
By the way, you know that's not his real name.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. He has a regular name like Steve Johnson, and he changed it to, you know.
Yeah, his parents, I read everything about him. His parents put him in a very, very good school. They wanted to get him out of Baltimore, and that good for his parents. You know, his parents were black nationalists, but intellectual black nationalists. And
here it is. Listen to this. It's so funny. Janelle, I forget what her name is. She is part of the people who just torpedoed ESPN with race grifting forever.
Yeah, there's somebody bring your microphone.
Thank you. That was excellent. And I'm wondering, I just finished reading Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility.
Terrible book.
And I think she did like an excellent job of defining racism as like a system of oppression as opposed to like a personal choice. It's like, it's there, you benefit from it, or you don't. That's
By the way, a white woman from New York is telling everybody about racism.
Oh, it's amazing. She's the worst. I read that terrible book too. That book is so bad.
What do you hate read? Are you a hate reader?
Yeah, I read everybody I disagree with. I read
respect,
but I give them
by read or listen.
I read that. I read their book or I listen to the book in its entirety, and I really give them a fair shake.
Okay, respect.
Yeah. About the importance of defining racism, but I unless I missed it, which is possible. I didn't hear your personal definition. Is there one that you would offer us? Like how
Listen
do you
to
define
this.
racism?
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
Wow, that's a circular definition.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you are black,
that is just like I can say anything and you guys will just eat it up.
But we have to give that side of the debate its credit. If you and I were black, we would have a lot more in common with what he's saying. And the reason we would is we'd have a very different experience in this country. And at the end of the day, America for a long time has been a racist country. It has been a country in a lot of ways that was organized around benefiting white people because that's who established the culture. And remember that Africans were brought here as slaves, and we've been a nation longer with slavery than we have been without. That has a ripple effect. So there is no doubt that a lot of black men especially have not participated in the better parts of our economy, of our entire world. There are, but there's been so much effort to get laws in the books that make sure that that is not the case, but it doesn't mean they help. It doesn't mean that government can do all that work. It doesn't mean, Ibram Kendi, that you can change policy and that's actually going to change your plight. What I believe is individuals have to say, yeah, this all sucks, but I got to fucking react to it. I got to do something about it. And the reason I know you can do that is there are plenty of black people that have done that and continue to do that against all odds. That's the American way.
Against all odds. That's
fucking
interesting.
I'm awesome.
Like they wake up and it's just like, what? I mean, like, listen, I get it, man.
I don't want to work out some days, but I do. You know what I mean, Sam?
Right. And so you're comparing yourself to the black America. So here's what I got to say. You know, everything that I've ever learned in recovery, this new weaponized version of oppression says the exact opposite. And in a weird way, you're saying the exact opposite. What you're saying is that people wake up in the morning and you use the term against all odds, and like there is this movement to just hold people down. Here's what I've learned in my life. Nobody's thinking about me, right? Nobody cares. Everyone's trying to say they're white knuckling their own life. All right. And that most of the problems in my life are directly related to the decisions I've made and the actions I've taken. What this guy does is take out any personal responsibility for where you are in your life.
That's the best. Some days you say shit that's so concise, so clear, and so true. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
The fact that you just said something and encapsulated the entire fucking debate in a long sentence is proof that you're a genius and crazy at the same time, because then you go into Moloch.
Okay, which is totally
and
true.
You might be right about that too.
Yeah,
Can
exactly.
we get into scientist
You
Sam?
might be a prophet, Sam. It's why every one of my friends loves you more than they like me. I'm not kidding.
Can we get into an example of Sam's perhaps lunacy?
Yeah, let's get into Sam's lunacy. Because my wife, who suffers no fools, you're probably her favorite person.
I love your wife.
Okay.
So are we in crazy place right now?
Yeah.
So what you're okay? So if you list right here, Bryan.
Yeah.
These are the
Hold
patents.
on, let me get my shield on. Because there's a lot of just fucking bees of just what they call them. The bees of lies. They just they get into my eyes and my nose and stuff.
Okay. The bees of lies.
It's like staring into a sandstorm.
So Bryan, right here.
And look into make-believe.
That's good.
There's Daniel's clock.
It's a little unfair because he hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. We're already in
I'm
fantasy
loving
land.
it. But please.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, this is the belief that a lot of these ailments, these viruses, all this stuff are patented by either the U.S. government or some kind of entity like a Bill Gates or a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is you're going to look up one of those patents and see if it exists,
Well,
Dylan.
before you do that, let me make a little caveat to this.
So
I can already tell you where we're going with this.
So what was that, Dylan?
Well, I already did that.
Okay, and what does it say?
It says that so I love this white sheet on Twitter, which is I don't even know what this is. It looks like a laminated piece of paper that
it looks like it's a meme. It's a meme.
No, it is. But can I just tell you what's going on there? Can I just tell you, even if that's true, can I tell you for all of you?
Hold on. Okay, go on. I'll let you talk.
If I may educate you. Again, the sand is so thick, but let me just get through it. Now, here's the thing, guys. Yes, what happens when you have to research a pandemic, a virus, when you have to figure out a way to combat a virus, like come up with protease inhibitors that saved, I don't know how many people's lives who had AIDS, carried the HIV virus.
Okay.
And
All right.
protease inhibitors and I have personal friends
Right.
who sold all this stuff and then had to buy it all back because they were like, oh my God, I'm going to be alive for the next 30 years. AIDS has now become something that is as treatable and more treatable than diabetes.
Oh,
now, if you don't mind, if I may.
It's really crazy that they solved they cured AIDS right when COVID was here. Kind of crazy.
They cured AIDS way before that.
Okay.
They didn't cure it. They can treat it.
All right.
If you don't mind.
Okay.
May I?
Well, can you look up where they isolated HIV? Go on.
So the U.S. government, the NIH, that does a lot of AIDS research.
A lot of good stuff.
I did martial arts with two of their leading scientists.
You did karate with Fauci?
Two of their leading scientists on
This
AIDS.
guy did karate with Fauci.
Literally on their leading scientists who were working on a vaccine for AIDS a long time ago. This is back in 1987, everybody.
Bryan,
87, 88, 89, 90, 91.
Fauci.
Yeah, I've known him forever.
Who, Fauci?
No, in fact, his name is Eduardo Padlin. He was a senior scientist at the NIH, black belt. Long story short, my dear friend, is that you have to patent the strain of virus that you're working on. There are patents that are involved in when you're working on a virus in a controlled setting.
Okay, all right.
There are certain strains.
And you want to patent it? Why, Bryan? Why are you patenting it again?
Sand is getting very thick again.
Okay.
But
Bryan,
the point is,
why are you patenting the virus again?
Because then you can patent and own the cure for it or the treatment for it, like protease inhibitors.
Oh, interesting.
And these things that save lives. I don't know if you know this, but
so you think it's okay?
Excuse me. We can now cure, and I have two people I know. We can now cure and have cured. This is incredible. Ready for this? Hepatitis C killed my cousin, and my friend has it now, and she was cured of it. Now it's a year treatment. Takes a long time, but pretty amazing. We can go on down the list of how many things are now treatable and curable. Testicular cancer used to kill young men. No more. Thank you to the platinum chemotherapy.
All right.
Thank you. I want to just a quick shout out now that the sand is cleared. I want to shout out to our pharmaceutical companies and our medical establishment and to Western Science.
And that soundbite will haunt you for the rest of your life.
Western
We
Science
don't need to do
for
that.
saving that many lives.
So Bryan, you think it's okay? You think it's okay for Bill Gates?
Oh boy, here we go.
To have a patent on a virus
is it
in
Bill
which
Gates?
he's going around, which we know is not real, which he's going around selling the vaccine for. You think that's okay?
The way
you think that's okay?
The way you've characterized Bill Gates and how he patents a virus is
okay.
is a little bit like saying. It's a little bit like saying. There's nothing I can come up with. It's that crazy.
Okay.
There's actually nothing.
Bryan, can I ask you something?
It's so crazy that I can't.
Are there evil people in the government of the United States, or is it just all goofballs who just mismanage it and just miscalculate it?
I don't think if you were evil and you wanted to make millions of dollars, you would be in the U.S. government. I don't know if you've seen Fauci, and I don't know if you make that much money that way.
Hold on, Bryan. What did you just say right there?
Yeah,
can we?
Fauci has.
Can we rewind this? What did you just say about Fauci?
Fauci, I think, has stock in certain companies.
So, Bryan, are you saying that Fauci did make a lot of money during COVID? Is that what you're saying out loud into a microphone that is recording what you're saying for other people to hear and be played back during the rest of humanity?
I think Fauci made some real money, right?
Okay.
There's a theory on Fauci.
Yeah.
Which is that Fauci
he's Mother
is
Teresa.
pretending that Fauci is actually working for DOD in germ warfare. He's one of the scientists. So his cover is NIH, diseases, infectious diseases.
Bryan, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Fauci, good guy, bad guy?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I disagree with him.
What episode is this? Does anyone know what episode this is?
It's probably like 277.
I think Fauci probably suffers from something called arrogance. I think Fauci suffers
Bryan, would you?
But he's a civil servant.
Okay. So what does that mean? Civil servants can't be assholes?
I don't think Fauci was ever motivated by money. You could say Fauci was probably motivated by power.
Well, so Fauci's net worth
science.
was $7.6 million before the pandemic.
Yeah.
It sharply went up to $12.6 million. Do you not think that $5 million is adequate compensation for saving everybody from the coronavirus?
Okay, all right. I see what you did there.
I don't think that if he was an evil genius, I'm not that impressed with $12 million.
Right.
So if the evil genius in the movie goes, and I made $12 million in stock, we'd all go, oh,
that's not what happened, Bryan, at all.
$12 billion.
Anyway.
So the first patent, and we don't need to pile drive this whole thing, but the first patent that said that Fauci had a patent on AIDS, the patent number is actually for a method of curing AIDS with some silver, and it's owned by a man named Marvin Antleman. So that number was just not even correct. And in terms of isolating the AIDS virus, we have done that.
Oh, we did that.
Where is that? Where is that, bro? Where is that? Go down.
It's Providence Health.
Sam, we did that so long ago.
Okay.
That's why protease inhibitors work.
Gotcha.
Wait, why?
Gotcha.
Wait, but AIDS patients live now. They used to die.
Right.
Didn't they die?
So I want you to look up.
Is AIDS real?
I want you to look up Kary Mullis discussing Fauci AIDS, and he'll talk about where he called up the NHI or whatever it's called, and he asked
National Institute of Health.
Yes, and he asked.
You're a real detective there.
No, hey Bryan, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Okay, just know that.
You were slouching the whole time. I moved your camera up, and now you're out of frame. You just sprung up.
Yeah, okay, because I'm feeling alive right now.
Okay, so
can you get an obscure video of one man talking about Fauci back in the 80s, please?
Yes.
Sam
Sam
has hitched his entire wagon of
truth. Okay,
yes,
Bryan, the obscured man, the guy who invented the PCR test that your dumb ass took all the time.
Yeah, in 1993.
Yeah,
because the PCR test hasn't changed at all since then. Sam, do you know what PCR stands for?
You're so.
Hold on. Sam, do you know what PCR stands for?
You are so dumb. I love you so much, and you're just fully retarded.
Get Kary Mullis, please, because he said Mullins, but this is Mullis.
Let's give it up for Grammar.
Can you get an obscure video from 19?
Hey, guys. Hi, welcome to Grammar Nazis. When you're out of talking points, attack their grammar.
Get something from 30.
Hey, everybody, Sam can't spell.
Yeah, can you get something from 30 years ago? Because Sam has hitched his wagon of truth to 30 years ago.
Yeah, no, we have it right here.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys, because, old information is stale, all right?
What is it about?
I've seen seen this, but this is great.
That wants to go to all the details and stuff and listen. These guys like Fauci get up there and start talking. He doesn't know anything really about anything.
Okay, but Bryan doesn't believe that.
No, he's a bureaucrat. That makes sense. He's
not.
He's
won a Nobel Peace Prize.
He's not in the lab. But he's not. But I saw this. Fauci is a bureaucrat. He's a government bureaucrat. He's not a scientist in there. This is a scientist, right?
Okay.
So he's going to have a very different point of view. So Fauci gets up and says things, and Fauci is a political figure, an operative, right?
Yeah.
So Fauci is dealing with a couple of things. My feeling is Fauci is old. So he was way more afraid emotionally of the coronavirus than we were.
Oh, Bryan,
Hold on.
Bryan, what are you doing right now?
Hold on, listen. He was more afraid of it, so he's got an emotional stake in it. Number two, he's dealing with a political stake where he's being told, well, we can't have on our watch a bunch of people die. That'll be a problem. Okay. Number three, he's probably there's an argument he might have been covering up for the fact that this was a U.S., the gain of function research and dealing with viruses that can be inhaled is a very effective way to create, use in warfare. So he may very well have been involved in that. The cover gets blown because Chinese scientists start getting sick in Wuhan because there's this sort of like secret collaboration. And now what happens is they have to cover their tracks. That's possible.
I'm confused about what you want me to do because you just said a conspiracy, but we could also do this. I'm not sure which way to go.
Hello, welcome to Worst Take Ever with Bryan Callen. Hey, is Fauci just a good guy who's a little confused? Next, with Bryan Callen's Worst Take Ever. There we go, Bryan. That was the worst take ever. You just are like, dude, Fauci's just trying to figure out, while at the same time, trying to keep himself safe. Like, what are you talking about? The guy went to gay bathhouses to check out, to see how AIDS got spread. He literally went, let me see that. Are you guys wearing a condom? Hold on.
You're turning him into,
put it back in.
You're turning him into a power bottom. I got it. Your Honor.
That's totally fine.
Your Honor.
And also...
there's no yellow card. That's statistical facts.
No. That's fine. And
Thank
also...
you. Can you rebuff his yellow card?
No. I'm not going to do that. And also, he needs to ring the bell because the AIDS thing was completely wrong. You were wrong about it.
About what? About what? What was I wrong about? What was I wrong about? What was I wrong about, Dylan?
Well, the patent wasn't Fauci's, and we did isolate the AIDS virus.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did, Sam.
We did not.
Sam, that's why we're able to treat it now.
Nope. You're full of it.
So doctors are... Wait, okay, this is great. I have to dilate on this.
Okay.
And we're gonna have to move on.
Are you saying that we don't have any treatments
Bryan,
for AIDS?
does HIV cause AIDS?
Yes.
Okay, where'd they prove that?
Well, Gallo did in the United States, and France did. France did. So they did that. So all of that's a lie.
Yes.
Okay. And so does AIDS exist?
That's questionable.
Okay, good. So it doesn't. So when a doctor gives my friend's mom her medication, is that all fake medication?
Yep.
It's fake.
Yep.
Wow. So the protease inhibitors.
Bryan.
So David Ho, who won Man of the Year by Time magazine, he's also a fraud?
Yep.
So all that time he spent in the lab coming out with protease inhibitors that saved my buddy's life.
Yep.
That saved my buddy's life.
Yep.
That actually reversed his health.
Yep.
That's all. That was all. What was that? Was that because he ate garlic or what was that? But I saw it with my own eyes.
Bryan, hey, will you look up?
But wait, Sam, hold on. Now, don't look up anything.
Yeah.
Are you saying all of that's a lie and you're the only one with the truth? So
I'm not the only one with the
Tripoli
truth.
has the truth. And,
I'm not the only one with the truth.
Everybody else is wrong. So all these gay men who are now still alive, who were dying, because I saw that. Did you ever see that? Because I saw it, and I was in the theater scene.
Hey, Bryan,
in New York. I saw that.
Why did
and by theater scene, I mean I was doing very, very off-Broadway plays, and I was never working. But the point is this. I saw a lot of gay men die.
Yeah, I know.
And then I saw a lot of gay men.
Right there where Fauci, the gay
Then we saw a lot of gay men not die.
Listen. Bryan,
Are they all lying? Are they all lying?
Bryan, what killed people in the 80s? Was it AIDS or was it AZT?
It was AIDS.
Okay.
It was AIDS. So Sam, AIDS didn't kill anybody? So HIV
AZT.
doesn't
Can you
kill
explain your position, AZT, and how it killed
AZT
people?
was AZT.
I know how toxic it was. I know what it was.
Okay.
I know it was.
Okay.
We don't use AZT anymore. It was the only thing we had. People were dying.
No, Brian, it wasn't
young
the
men
only
were
thing they
dying.
had.
Sam, young men were dying.
No.
And I saw it with my own eyes.
No.
My neighbor died.
Okay.
Very, very
Brian,
awfully.
nobody's saying that your pain isn't real, okay?
No. We're not
Nobody's
talking about my
saying
pain.
that those people lost isn't sad. What I'm
all
telling you
died of
right
AIDS.
now
They died of AIDS.
is that AZT was a cancer drug that was so toxic
Sam.
they had to pull it. So they had this drug that they spent all this money on and they wanted to use. So they watered it down. So it was a cancer drug,
I see.
Brian.
I
Why
see.
would
Sam,
people still
I
continue to
see.
take?
So homosexual men were not getting AIDS, and that didn't exist in the bathhouses. And all those men that died, all those men, those young men that died, and there were thousands of them. Millions. I'm talking about the entire New York theater scene and dance scene.
Yeah.
The entire Broadway scene.
Yeah.
You can talk to all of them.
Okay.
They watched all of their young friends die.
All right.
They all got Kaposi sarcoma.
Okay.
Which was, I saw this again
right.
with splotches on your face. It
Yeah,
was an awful
yeah.
disease. And
My
your
friend
immune
got
system,
that
your
too.
immune system couldn't basically keep all this stuff away.
I got
And
you. We're not gonna agree on
And
it.
you died of starvation, Sam.
Yeah.
And then protease inhibitors came along and they
Why
stopped
are
dying.
you continuing
And
to
Sam,
take a cancer
and
drug?
they
when you
weren't.
don't
They
have
stopped taking it.
No, AZT, not
They didn't
for a
take
while,
it. No,
Brian.
Sam.
All right,
Sam, they
all right.
stopped taking AZT.
Okay, go on.
Okay, all right.
They stopped
Next
taking
story.
AZT.
We have to move
Wait,
on.
so you're blaming?
No,
so
you
why'd
do
they take
this.
AZT in the first place?
Brian, we got to move on. You already won.
No,
Sam,
you didn't
need
win.
To claw
He
back.
didn't
That's
win.
a W for Brian.
No, it's
you
not
lost
a W.
big time.
No, I won big time.
No, you lost
I won big time.
But
I'm the winner.
I always wonder-
I'm the big winner.
Yeah.
He's the big loser.
Sam,
Okay.
you're so crazy.
All right,
Okay.
now here's something that I think we can all talk about that's not AIDS, this story.
Okay, so what's really interesting right now is I guarantee you, first of all, what I tell you that all the on Rogan show, all this, pride stuff, gender theory, queer theory stuff is going to go away, and here we are.
It's going to backfire, right?
Well, because they're walking away because it's going to be immigration riots. But this also tells me that Gavin Newsom's thinking about making a run because he did this,
I agree.
and he also did the $250 million to fight shoplifting. So what are the two things that the nation thinks about Gavin Newsom?
Crime.
He wants to hurt children, and he doesn't care about crime.
Yeah.
Bang. Now he's going at it, and he's pushing back. So it's like super
he's pushing back on this. What is this? Can you explain this?
Yeah, this bill essentially puts into custody proceedings that the judge can factor in which parent affirms the gender of
And
the
he vetoed
child.
that bill?
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So if there are custody battles, one parent does affirm the gender of a transgender kid, the other doesn't, it factors into who gets custody.
That these fucking gender Nazis are the worst people on the planet.
They're idiots.
They are my enemy.
They're idiots.
I fucking hate them.
They're like people who believed in AIDS.
You are the worst. Yeah.
Idiots.
I know.
But it's just ridiculous.
I know.
And
Sam's the only
now
one who knows.
everybody's like, oh, he's turning his back on. No, dude, he realizes he can't go anywhere in the United States outside of New York City, San Francisco, and LA and not just get booed down. I mean, it's unbelievable. And now he's upset because his kids are listening to Rogan. And Rogan's been calling him out.
Oh, believe me, he listens to Rogan, and his friends hate that he listens to Rogan.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, and like now the Roosters have come home, and like he should go on Rogan. Rogan should have him on.
Rogan won't have him on because the reason Rogan won't have Gavin Newsom on is Rogan doesn't want Gavin Newsom to be a politician because Rogan's going to ask him real questions, and he knows that Gavin will have handlers there. If Gavin was willing to go on Rogan and really talk and be grilled and be put in a corner and asked the hard questions, then Rogan would have him on. But the problem with having politicians on is they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to
For 3 hours, Gavin Newsom just getting lit up.
Well, it'd be fun to watch him because but he wouldn't do it. I don't think Gavin would do it. There would be stipulations on what can be asked and stuff like that, and Rogan's never going to do that. He's just not.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, speaking
And the other thing is he might make Gavin Newsom look human. And if he does that, because Joe's really good at that, and that would help Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
So if Gavin Newsom was smart, he would go, give me your best shot. I'll answer every question. And Newsom would maybe educate everybody from his perspective on what it's like to be a governor. So I would love to hear Gavin Newsom say, hey, this is what I deal with every day. I got these crazy left-wing maniacs telling me to do this. And then I got fundraisers who are super right-wing telling me to do this. Then I got fundraisers that are super left-wing to do this. And I'm playing the smart game. If he was honest about it and we really heard a consummate politician talk, it would help him, but he would never do that.
Bryan win. That's another win for Bryan.
Why you're just giving wins away?
You're crazy.
You're just giving wins away.
You go from
it's
totally
ridiculous.
lucid to totally crazy about the AIDS thing.
Steep slope you got to climb up for a Cinderella
Do
story.
you have
but we
friends that
gotta
actually
move
believe
on.
your terrible AIDS theory, your non-theory, your anti-theory?
Yeah, a lot of people.
It's incredible. They're all so dumb.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Tell them that they're dumb though, and they're actually. It's an anti-theory. It's
Yeah.
not even. It's an anti-truth.
Coming from the guy who thinks the U.S. government's good
it's
people.
It's a true anti-truth.
That's right. Right, Bryan.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Bryan thinks that people who live in the desert flew a plane, the most incredible flight ever, and pinpoint hit 2 buildings.
It wasn't. It wasn't a flight like this. It was actually straight that
No,
way.
honestly, Bryan, it would be a lot easier if it was just like this.
No.
It was more like this. It was more like this. This.
Islamic
this,
fanatics.
This, and then boom. Pinpoint.
Islamic.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that Islamic fanatics in a group called Al Qaeda,
Yeah.
who are housed by the
and he's back.
There's no doubt that they flew planes in, but he says they were drones, which is adorable.
Yeah.
And all those people that got on those planes that have never been heard from again, they were put on a plane, then they went into another door in the plane into buses, and they killed them somewhere in the desert.
Yeah, no.
That's what the government does.
Yeah, no.
And then they remote controlled them. They killed them somewhere else, not on the plane. It would have made sense to kill them on a plane.
This is actually
but they didn't
pretty
do that.
crazy. I didn't think you were gonna scrape back this early, but that's a win for Sam. That's
Yeah,
pretty
what do you
nuts.
mean
that's a
That
win
is
for
W
Sam?
Thank you.
How is that a win
Nice
for
job,
Sam?
Because
That's
you're
How is that a win for Sam?
retarded.
Okay, so speaking of people in government, we celebrated, or our brethren in Canada celebrated.
Dude, this is the most. Okay, I want to hear Bryan's take on this, and then I'll tell you what's actually happening. Go on.
Well, they
I
gave a standing ovation to a
support
Nazi.
I support the effort. I support making the Ukraine invasion impossibly expensive to Russia so they come to the bargaining table. I don't support pulling out of Ukraine and allowing Russia to do their worst.
Okay, that again.
I'll start with that.
Is worst take ever by Bryan Callen.
You would allow Russia to go into any
So
sovereign
Bryan,
country.
again, Russia. What are you, Marsha Brady? Russia.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
You're a pro Putin.
I don't like
puppet.
that face.
You're a Putin puppet.
You're a Putin puppet.
You're a poo-poo
Say
puppet.
Say Putin
You got
puppet
shit
10
takes
times.
'cause you're a poo-poo
Say Putin
puppet.
puppet 10 times
Okay?
fast. Putin
Yeah.
puppet. Putin puppet. Putin puppet. Putin puppet.
Okay. So Bryan totally ignores what's happened right there. What was going on there? Do you know?
Let me watch that.
No. What is that, Bryan?
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't even know. You just did the worst take ever.
I did jump the gun.
Okay.
I jumped the gun.
So Bryan, just know everything you've ever said on this show is that in that moment. Okay. That is Bryan Callen. I'm going to make comment on something. I don't know what's happening. So play this. Do you know what's happening right here?
Let me see this.
Speech received at least a dozen standing ovations. There was also one for this man, a 98-year-old Ukrainian Canadian who fought for Ukrainian independence against the Russians during the Second World War.
Do you know what that means, Bryan?
It just means that Canada supports a country that's been invaded, a sovereign country that's been invaded.
Do you know who
by
that
an
guy
aggressor.
is, Bryan? Do you know what he did? Do you know?
He fought in the Waffen SS.
He fought with the Nazis.
Oh boy.
Okay? He fought with the Nazis.
He looks pretty white.
Okay?
He's 98.
And Trudeau and your boy Zelensky are giving him a standing O. Okay? And the entire Canadian Parliament, which, under the guise of fighting Nazis, froze Canadian citizens bank accounts.
Wait, what is that? What's that part? What's the last part you just said? I just want to hear that again.
Under the guise of fighting Nazis.
Who did this?
The Canadian Parliament froze Canadian citizens' bank accounts so they couldn't pull their money out.
Man, this sand. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on? Why do you do this to your friend, Dylan?
Now,
he's your friend. And you
oh.
allow him to do this publicly in front of a camera.
Yaroslav
You allow
Hunk?
him to say him to get so ridiculously stupid.
Can you look up he fought with the Waffen
Bryan,
SS?
Are you trying to find some wiggle room here?
Was he an SS? He worked for the SS?
Yes.
In Ukraine, because the SS in Ukraine killed nothing but they literally so just so you people know, the SS was responsible for finding all the Jews in the Ukraine and killing them.
Yes.
And led regular army troops of German troops in Ukraine to kill all the villagers to create literally a wasteland so that Germans who are ethnic could move into Ukraine. I hope you guys know that.
By the way,
so there's a book called The Painted Bird documenting the horrors of what the Germans did.
I'll give you what's really going on,
The speaker
Bryan.
apologized after the Friends of Simon Wiesenthal Center for Holocaust Studies said that during World War II, Hunka served as a member of the 14th Waffen Grenadier Division, I can't read, of the SS, also known as the 1st Ukrainian Division of the Galicia Division. It was started and commanded by Heinrich Himmler.
Oh my God, I know. Heinrich Himmler was the head of the SS.
Yeah, that guy. And Trudeau, who's been gaslighting his entire
mistake
country.
though, right? Bad mistake. Can you give it to him? That all of them stood up.
Bryan, play it. Play it real quick. I need it right now. Play it real quick.
They didn't know he was a Nazi.
Play it. Welcome to worst take.
You think all those people were applying a Nazi knowingly? That's ridiculous.
Bryan, what are you doing right now?
The whole Canadian Parliament knew that he was a Nazi and they were applauding.
100%.
So the entire Canadian Parliament are Nazis?
Oh, Bryan, what you don't understand
Can I get?
No, Bryan.
Your Honor. I mean,
I'm giving this. If we're just giving cards out, I'm just throwing cards out.
Your Honor,
we're just throwing cards out.
Out of his mind.
Bryan,
Okay, all right.
First,
can I
tell you?
decision
Can I just
really
say
quick?
what's going on?
You can, after you serve the 30-second timeout, you got a double yellow. He gets 30 seconds.
I gave him a red.
You will get 30 seconds after because he was
Why?
straight red carded. You got a straight red. That's what
He's
happens.
not allowed to red card me when he says the entire Canadian Parliament is Nazis.
Yes, he does. This is a democratic state. You go 30 seconds, Bryan.
Sam, you are saying that the Canadian Parliament stood up knowingly for the worst element of the Nazi machine. And so that would mean that everybody who stood up there, the entire Canadian Parliament, they're all secretly and not so secretly Nazis. All of them. That's amazing. Please defend yourself.
Okay. Bryan, please be quiet for 30 seconds. Sam, go ahead.
First of all, I never said that they were all Nazis. I'm saying they're standing and giving a Nazi a standing ovation because, Bryan, this is all part of the demoralization campaign that is the progressive globalist movement.
Hey,
thick.
whoa. What the fuck?
Double red. Now I get a minute, okay?
100%.
This is all demoralization. This is Trudeau doing this on purpose. He is demoralizing the Canadian people. He has froze their bank accounts, took away all their civil rights because of threat of Nazis. Then what does this guy do? He walks in a Nazi and gives them a standing up. This is all done on purpose. It's a demoralization campaign to lower your happiness, to make you depressed, heighten your anxiety. That's what this is all about. There's no other way to do it. Zelensky works with Nazis. The ADL has said they don't care about the Nazis over there because they're not going after Jews. This is all on the record. All on the record. Okay?
Zelensky's Jewish, right?
Yeah. Bryan, he's working with Nazis.
And we've got a tie ball game. Sam wins.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
So
Tie
Zelensky's
ball game.
working with the Nazis?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Bryan, because what you don't understand is
to support
this
Ukraine
is
is to
not
support
about anything other than the dark sorcerers taking over.
I see.
And here's something.
to support Ukraine is to support Nazis? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
That's wrong.
Nope. I'm telling you right now, that army is all Nazis. Okay,
all Nazis.
We're funding Nazis.
They're all Nazis.
We're sending arms to Nazis.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing. So the Ukrainian army, because my friend Mark Turner has.
Sorry, I didn't know Mark Turner was going to say something.
Mark,
you should have brought that up earlier into the discussion. Mark Turner shuts down everything.
Well, Mark Turner.
I don't even know Mark.
Was a Marine sniper, a recon Marine sniper.
Kazaria's coming back, everybody. It's coming back. They're already setting it down. Can we go into who Zelensky has picked?
Mark Turner is a Jewish guy.
Spokesperson.
Mark Turner was a
that?
Marine sniper who happens to be Jewish, and he was over there helping them. I don't know if he ran in any Nazis.
Brian,
he was helping the Ukrainian Special Forces.
I don't know that they were Nazis. The worst takes ever.
I don't know if they
got
were
everything
Nazis.
wrong. As bad as you think my AIDS take is, which I am right, you've gotten everything else wrong.
Zelensky's a Nazi. He's a Jewish Nazi. That's incredible.
Zelensky is working.
That is just amazing. You are actually incredible. You are so out of your mind that it's hard to believe sometimes. The sand gets so thick that I don't know where I'm going.
That Zelensky's gotten as a spokesperson?
Let me
pull this Ukrainian spokesperson. Put in Maria. That's all you got to do. Put in Maria.
Here we go.
This is who the new Ukraine ambassador is. It is Maria Abramovich. Who is a dark arts wizard, everybody.
Oh, the spirit cooker.
The Khazarians are coming back, everyone. The Khazarians are coming. The Khazarians are coming.
Khazarians, everybody is code for Jew.
No, it's not, Brian. It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Sam doesn't know it, but he's rehashing the oldest, most tired Nazi propaganda.
Are back.
Yeah, and that's not good to do.
Yeah,
Sam.
you're literally reciting Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, so Sam
but because you don't read history,
but they love the Nazis. They just gave them a standing O.
Because you don't read history.
Brian,
you don't seem
Brian, the people you're saying that I'm reciting Nazi propaganda about are the ones working with the Nazis.
You said the Jews
They're
are
working
Nazis.
with the Nazis,
no,
Brian.
Look,
They're working with the Nazis.
Hitler's dad was Jewish.
Zelensky is called Ukraine, the big Israel. He's literally said that.
All you guys believe that the Jews were Nazis. Hitler's dad was a Nazi. Hitler's dad was Jewish, and so
Hitler's dad was Jewish.
Yes, and so all of these things. But there is some scholarship that points to that, by the way.
Okay, thank you. So I was
by Jewish scholars.
I'll just ring the bell.
Don't you dare ring that bell.
By Jewish scholars, but at the end of the day, Sam. At the end of the day, if you really look hard, Sam, you really look hard. I can encapsulate your conspiracy theories and everyone else's. I can literally you ready for me to encapsulate all of it? Do you know
Brian?
Do you know who's really in charge?
Who?
At the end of the day,
who is it?
When
Brian?
we get past
is
the
it
Black
white
Pope,
guys?
when we get
white
past,
guys the bad guys?
Sam, when we get past the Black Pope, when we get past the White Pope, when we get past
the Black Pope is
Molochians,
much higher.
when we get past the chicken
Great
snake
Pope
gods,
is the highest.
At the end of the day, as far as Sam and all his conspiracy theories friends are concerned, I can tell you who's truly running things, and that is a circle, a tight-knit circle of, to you, invisible Jews wearing robes and drinking the blood of goy children.
Yep.
And that is, at the end of the day, Sam's entire theory encapsulated. And of course, they're also Zionists. So they probably either live somewhere, they live either somewhere in Israel or so deep in the Arctic that they're touching the center of the earth. And that's why they can live in the Arctic, because it's really
Switzerland.
There
we go. Bang.
All right,
so
great.
The Jewish bankers are living in Switzerland.
They're sorcerers. They're not Jews.
All right, so
they may wear the cover of Jews. That's how they can walk.
Last story.
How interesting. They wear the cover. So Jews are actually wearing a costume.
No. The Muslims are the same thing.
More Nazi
Catholic,
propaganda.
same thing. Christian, same thing.
That Jews can shapeshift. Can we get to the next story, please? RFK had a little bit of an incident at an event recently.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of this?
I have. I heard about this.
No.
It's very crazy. People are nuts. That guy has mall cop energy. I don't know if you know this, but a guy showed up as a U.S. Marshal with a gun, and he wasn't a U.S. Marshal.
Yeah. You know, this is what happens when a lot of theories that have no basis in truth
get
floated out there, and everybody starts to believe them, even though they have zero.
Zero
how
soil.
Does this have to do
They've
with
never
grown in soil.
Yeah.
They were fabricated. They were made in an artificial lab called people like Sam's
AIDS?
brain, and that's what happens.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So I have some intel I want to tell everybody.
Okay.
So I've talked to some high ups.
Oh.
And they tell me that the plan right now probably is going to be ride Joe Biden until the very last second, then throw him to the curb, and guess who's going to run?
Kamala?
Nope.
Gavin?
Nope.
RFK?
Don't say Mike. Don't say Mike if it's Michelle.
It's not.
Oh.
Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
At the very last second.
Sam, how come all your theories never come true?
Brian, name me one that hasn't come true.
You said Trump was going to get arrested. Remember when the Supreme Court overturned the election? That never. I mean, that Trump was going to be president.
He's totally been arrested, Brian.
I mean, you said when Trump was going to get elected, when the Supreme Court overturned the election, that didn't happen. But why is it that everybody
Brian,
but
who
you
would you
is
say
right,
has been
wrong?
more right on this show over the arc of the show?
Well, you've never been right. You say things like AIDS doesn't exist. Sam, why is it that every single journalist is a liar and you're the only one who's telling the truth? And I mean every single journalist. Why is that? Why is it that every scholar, every historical scholar is lying?
Brian,
why is it
can I
that
ask
every
you
doctor
something?
and
Did
scientist?
you hear about what happened
But
with
wait.
Barstool Sports guy?
Yeah, he called the Washington Post reporter.
The Washington Post.
Okay, have you seen that?
Yeah, but what was the follow-up to that?
Well, they put out the story and it went nowhere. He nailed him. But that's activism, okay?
Yeah, it's
so,
activism.
So
I agree
that's
with
what
that.
I'm talking about,
There are
Brian.
some shithead activists.
Yeah, there's activists in journalism. It's no longer journalism. It's political activism.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
true. That's for sure.
All
That's
right, so I
actually true.
won.
Yep.
I'd say I won today, overall.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are.
Can you admit that you're a little off on the AIDS thing?
Nope.
Do you think that everybody is that protease inhibitors are fake?
Brian, here's what I'm going to tell you, is that there was a series of moves. They had this is what I'm going to tell you. This is what I've learned. They had this drug. They wanted to use it, okay? There's been a depopulation program. They've talked about this before. A virus they can't cure for the longest time. And they use AZT, which was a toxic cancer thing to sadly kill our friends. That's my opinion.
So Sam, do you know what the leading cause of depopulation has been?
Brian, tell me what
It's been urbanization. So when you move into a city, you can't afford to have more kids. You're at an apartment. I mean, that's what happened.
Okay.
That is like technology and technological advancement made it so you didn't need 7 kids to work the fields.
Yeah.
So we do have a depopulation problem. We need more kids. And the United States does, but China does, Russia does, the Middle East does. The mean age in the Middle East, I think, is 40 now or something. So we have a depopulation problem. We have a depopulation problem, right?
Children of men is becoming real, right?
Yes, it may be.
I mean, 100%.
Well, sperm counts are way down, but what I'm saying is that
probably because of this, putting this between my legs.
But the answer is a lot less sexy than what you make it out to
Okay.
be. AZT
All right.
was not a depopulation program.
Okay.
It was scientists who were desperate to do anything at a disease they'd never seen before. Because gay men were dying of really weird diseases that were very rare, like Kaposi sarcoma, that only affects old men who are of Mediterranean descent. And when they started seeing Kaposi sarcoma on men who were like 20 and 21 and 22 and really healthy, they were like, and then they couldn't keep food down. And they were dying of the strangest diseases, ultimately dying of starvation, actually, which is awful. You know, so many of these people died. And then when they came up with protease inhibitors, they saved countless lives. I don't think that was made up by somebody. Okay. What's your explanation for that? Magic? Sorcery?
I gotta say today was a fun episode. Good time.
But you don't answer my grilling questions.
Black magic sorcery.
But if you were in a court of law and you said black magic sorcery, you get the cuffs put on you.
Yeah.
And you get put in jail.
Well, I'd definitely be found guilty of being a witch.
Yeah.
Because the truth is dangerous.
I know, but
Brian, you live in a world of lies.
But you live in a world that's not of witchery.
Yeah.
Your phone works.
Well, I think,
does your phone work because of sorcery?
You keep going back to this phone.
Okay, then does
Nobody's saying phones don't exist.
What about the fact that you have fresh fruits and vegetables anytime you want them?
Yeah,
How does that happen?
because
science.
Because God created the earth. And he created everything.
No. He created
on the ground.
pesticide. He created
pests. All that.
He created pests and animals that eat all your
food was good, and the animals were good.
But we're not talking about the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
We're not in there anymore. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
Eve ate an apple.
Because Eve is a 304, bro.
You know what happens? Sam runs out of energy to actually get to the truth of things. And I want everybody,
Brian,
I want to apologize to everybody.
You would know the truth if you walked in it banging your wife, okay?
Sam,
that's what I got to say about that.
Sam offers...
You wouldn't even know.
No, I would know because I know a beautiful black back when I see one.
If the black dick of truth was dropping hammer on Kid Dynamite, you wouldn't even know it.
Well, I would look at Kid Dynamite and say, I can't blame you because I would choose that over me any day.
Great episode, everybody.
Is that
SamTripoli.com. SamTripoli.com.
Come see me in Greenboro, North Carolina.
.com.
BryanCallen.com for tickets.
SamTripoli.com. Thousand Oaks.
When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters.